Hello all, welcome back to Learning Partner. If you are new, please do subscribe. This is another channel where you can directly connect with me. We have around 1,000 plus members already who are working. We take live coding sessions and everything. To just get notified about those sessions, please do join this group.
Okay, so I'm starting screen share. Fine. So reactive form we are mainly going to discuss, and normal thing I won't be covering because considering everyone knows how we create basic form and everything, validation and everything. So first, how do we create multiple like dynamic form by using FormArray? How do we create nested form? Just like we have employee object, inside that we have family object, just like that scenario. How do we create the nested form? Then dynamic element, again the same thing what we see over here. Dynamic validation, when we initialize the form we add some proper validation, but based on some control value change we have to add some validation, remove some validation, so like that dynamic validation. Value changes, this is mainly important when we are working on a project. If you are a new joiner to a project, you might find, guys please don't use anything, just listen to what I'm saying. So when you join a new project, obviously in some project we get the kt, but that kt is not that much enough, or with that kt also we won't be able to figure out, because let's say you have a form, in that let's say around 20 to 30 fields are there, and some of the field value can be getting changed from service, from component. There might be multiple ways that control value getting changed. So we need to check like from where that particular value get changed. This you get when when you get assigned some defects, and you need to check like why this value is, why this text box value is getting behavior change, from where it is getting changed. So in that, value changes plays a very important role when we have to debug a reactive form. Then in reactive form we have two methods, set value and patch value. So when to use that, and last one, custom validator. How do we create our custom validator function? So these are the things which we are going to discuss. Fine. Now this is a project I'm using, localhost 4200. Advanced topic, reactive form. Okay, so just for a scenario, I have created a application, created a UI where we can consider what all the scenarios we are going to discuss. Fine. So if you see the application, I will start with very basic. So first name, middle name, last name is there, and we have full name also. So normally what should happen? Once user start typing, my full name should automatically generate. Correct? These are the things which normally banking application or insurance sector, this kind of application, this kind of forms will be there, because they need first name, middle name, last name as a separate also, and they need the full name also, because in some view they will show the full names, in somewhere they will just show the first name and the last name, but as a separate they need all the first name, middle name, last name as a separate entity. Okay, so first scenario we are going to discuss is to how do we combine, or how do we generate a full name by using what things we have in the reactive form. Okay, Naneshwar, I don't know how I disable this thing. Please don't use anything. Again, I have to explain the same thing. Okay, let me, first we need to create the form also. I didn't create the form. I should have created this form. Okay, so let's say application form, data type form group. We need to import reactive form module is equal to new form group, round bracket, curly bracket. Oh my god, it's going to take time now. Let it be. F name, new form control, round bracket. I will initialize with empty value. Let me just copy paste like this. Okay, so first name, middle name, last name. These are the controls. How do we add the validation? Over here, we add the validation in array validators dot required. Like this, we add multiple validation. Okay. Then we have full name. Then what do we have? Job is working. Now is working, you can see In is working, we have a drop down, yes or no. But when I want to send this data to the API, I don't want to send this data as a string value. I want to send true or false. But in UI, we have string because there are many applications. Some client or some UX designer don't want that checkbox. They want drop down or radio button with yes or no. But ultimately, value with what API needs is the true or false. Okay. So here, while creating form is working, we have to initialize with yes or no something string value. But while sending the value, again, we need to change it to true or false. Okay. So let's say I'm going with no. Is working is there. Is uh, job type. Then what do we have? Own a business. Is own business. Then see the UI. Now that nested form group I will explain. So this first name, middle name, last name, full name, we got it. Is working, job type and business, we have got it. Now see the UI. If user said yes to working, okay, and he said private or government, if user said yes to working, this control, do you own a business, will hide. Okay. And if he says no, if he is not working, then he must be having a business. So this condition or this drop down visibility will be based on the what value we select in the is working. Okay. Then and if he said yes to working, then these three fields will be visible up to salary. But if he says no, means he is a business owner, then remaining four field we need to show. Okay. So these are related detail regarding job and these are related detail regarding a business. So this will go into our, what do we say, nested form group. Okay. So here now I'm going to create a nested form group. Let's say company details. This is my control name. But inside this control, what I'm going to store a new form group. New form group. It's like inside a control, you are going to have one more form group. Just like a object, inner object, what you guys know from JavaScript or Angular. Just like that. Okay. So in company detail, what do we have? Company name. Again, same thing, control and everything will be same only. Company name, then position and the salary. Salary. Just like this, we will need business detail also. Now, why API developer or database team will create object like this? So see, as I said, if we put all this column in a single table, I'm talking about database perspective. If we keep all this column, company detail and business detail in a single table, so if user or customer said yes working, so this field will be there in your table, but it is not going to be used. So unnecessary, you are putting some data which will be there for some users and which won't be there for some users. So that's why when database team creates the table, what they does, for this field, they will create a separate table. For this field, they will create a separate table so that data redundancy won't be there. Okay. In database, we have that concept. I forgot that normal NF, 1QF, 2NF, something is there, which we means breaking down a single table into multiple tables so that we don't have a redundant or repeated data again and again. Okay. So that's why in some API, we get object like this. Okay. So this will be like business details. Now in business detail, business name, then we have annual income, business name. Wait. Annual income. Okay, business type was there. First one was business type. Business type, business name, annual income, and last one was, that's it, no? Okay, this should be business address. Okay, text area. Okay, So this is your nested form. So when you get the form value, you will get in the parent level, you will get all this field. And in company detail, you will get an object of company. In business, you will get an object of business. Okay. If your API needs this kind of object, so obviously we have to go for a reactive form. For this kind of thing, if you go with the template again, some custom code you need to write. But with reactive, it's more user friendly, and for a developer perspective, it's very easy. Okay. So these things are done. Then what do we have? Loan detail. Now single information is done. Now if you see over here, personal email is single, official email is also single, but mobile number I can add multiple. Some guys can have one mobile number, some guys can have two, some guys can have three also. Right? So on click of add, we will be adding multiple mobile number. So this is form array. How do we create dynamic element? Right? So what we discussed in the earlier. Just a minute. Huh? So this form array and how do we create a dynamic element? These two things we am going to discuss. So this is the scenario where you have some single information and some information is multiple. Means for for particular customer, he can have multiple mobile number and he can have multiple loan details also. This is a example I have taken is for loan application. One person can have multiple ongoing loan also. Na? So whenever we submit an application for taking a loan, we need to provide details of the existing loan. Like that bank will evaluate our loan application, correct? So this is also multiple and contact mobile number is also multiple. Fine. Now, so here while creating the form, we have created a nested form group. Now, okay, one more business email and personal email is static. Okay. So personal email colon new form control round bracket, then business email colon new form control. Again, one more condition will be there. So see, if user said is working as yes, then only this official email will be mandatory. Okay, dynamic validation, what we said now. So if user said is working as yes, then only this will be mandatory. Otherwise, it will be optional. Okay, so here we need to make that validation dynamic. Okay, so this is done. Now we have to move to the context section, which is multiple. Okay, so contact list colon new. Now here in the contact list, what we need to store? New form array. So new form array we have to create. And it will contain multiple array of controls. See what it contains? Multiple controls. Okay. Means nothing but multiple form group array we will form group instance we will be having over here. So we will initialize that with empty array. Okay. Now this is done. Then comes at the bottom, we have this loan detail, which is also multiple. Okay. So in loan detail, what things are there? Bank name, loan amount, and EMI. Okay. So first we need to create the multiple form group only. Loan list colon new form array. Fine. So we have created our form. See, we in our form, at the parent level, we have some field. In company detail, we have nested form group. In business detail also, we have nested form group. And contact list will have array of form group and loan list will have also array of form group. Okay. So our basic form is created. Now, next thing, okay, we need to bind it also. Oh my God. I'm not sure like we will be able to complete everything today because this I didn't take in mind. Where we have form tag. Okay, form tag is there. So we created form. Now this form we have to bind to our HTML tag also in the form tag. So square bracket form group, and you need to provide your form group name over here. Okay. The next time on every element you need to bind form controller name. So form controller name equal to, let's do a shortcut thing. Let's copy paste and replace with form controller name. So that sometime we will have. Okay. So now First name will go over here, then last name, sorry, middle name, last name, then full name, we didn't bind it. Full name, job detail, is working over here, then job type over here, his own business over here, then we have company details. Okay, now see over here. So up till now, these were in the parent control. Okay, now this company details are inside the company detail form group. So now over here on this row is that for company details. Okay, so on this row, I will be adding another form group. Why it's not coming? We don't need a square form group name is equal to, we cannot use square bracket property binding on that. Okay, let's see. So this div has the nested form elements, right? So on that parent element, I'm adding form group name as company detail. Now over here, we can use company name. Okay, just like from the your normal object, inside object, if someone property is there, so how do you object? Parent object name dot nested object name, then your property name, just like that. So here we are adding our nested form group name, and inside that control you can add it over here. Position and salary. Okay, I'm not sure about this. If we get an error, then we will get to know. But like this only we should do, I think. Then this div. Okay, so now you can see here we have two rows. So we need a parent element where we can add the form group name. So let's add a parent div again. And this we will need over here because all these elements should be in your parent div. Okay, then only we can add this form group name. Then we have business detail. Then remaining things from business type. For a business name, we'll go over here. Business type, annual income, and business address. Okay, this we have done. Now in contact detail, two again controls are there at the parent level. So that is for personal email and business email. Okay, so these things we are done the normal way what you might be aware. Now coming back to the, just a minute. Okay, so now our basic controls we have binded. Form group, nested form group also we have binded. Now here comes the place to do dynamic binding. Okay. So now if you see this particular UI for mobile number, this is going to be repeat. See the UI. Cannot bind form group on which number? Line number 7. Why? We didn't save or what? Let's save, let's save. Okay. Okay, so now this whole div where we have label, text box and button, this is going to be repeated. So this should be in the for loop. Okay, and now for loop, what do we do? First, we need to apply the form group array name, like just like how we have done over here. This was a nested form group, na? So we have added form group name over here, just like that. Where it is, this row is going to be multiple. Okay, so here at the top over here, this is the parent div for my mobile number. So here I will add form group array name, form group form array name. Okay, and equal to what we will pass, contact list, our form group array name. Okay, so this will go over here. This is the first thing. Okay, after that you need a for loop. So let me check my project. Can we use 17? Okay, let's go with the ng for only. So now I will use ng container, or let's use div. So this div I will repeat. So star ng for, okay, again I need to import ng for. Okay, so ng for equal to. Now what we need from our form, we have got many controls, right? So what we need is this particular instance, this contact list instance we need. Okay, so for that we need to create a get method in your .ts. Okay, so how do we create a get method? Means I need the instance of this particular control, but this particular control is going to have array of form group. That's why I'm creating a get method. So that get method I can directly use in HTML. Okay, so let's create a get method. Get, let's say, what is this? Contacts. Just I'm keeping another name so that we don't get confused with this control name, and this is just a get method name I'm giving. Okay, round bracket, a data type we need to give. What this function, this get function is going to return form array. So form array. Okay, round bracket. So now here we have to return. So return this dot our form name, that is application form dot controls. From my whole control, what I need to return, square bracket, single quote, my actual control name, that is contact list. Okay, and over here also we need to specify the data type as form array, like this. So see, now that error is gone. Now this get method is going to get us the instance of form group array of contact list. Okay, so now this I can use in HTML. So what do we ng for now? Let, what do we say, contact of, it's giving error, form array. No, form array we write it right. Form array we have written contact of contacts, and contact will return array of controls, right? So dot controls. Yeah, okay. So this we are because in this form array contact list we are going to have multiple controls, right? First contact number, second contact number, like that. Okay, so now that way. Now this row where we have our actual form means text box for wait, not this, no. This we have to put after this. So this mobile number div is going to repeat. So this we need to move over here, and we added this on over here, but this is not repetitive because personal email and official email is single only, right? So this, instead of putting it over here, we need a separate div. So let's create a div over here. We will add it, and this will go inside this. Okay. Now we don't need this multiple one. Let's remove it. Now if we save, so by default, we are not getting anything. But whenever we have something dynamic, at least one mobile number should be visible, na? But that is now dynamic because we have added a for loop over here. So what we normally does, whenever we initialize our form, one control we will add to this contact number. So let's create a function which will allow us to add one control. Okay. So let's create a function, or what we will say, add new contact form. Okay. Now in this function, what we are going to do, we are going to create a new form group for contact, and that form group we are going to push to this contact list form array. Okay, so let's do that. So local variable constant contact form I'm creating is equal to new form group. Just how we create the form group. Let's say contact number colon new form control, and we will initialize with empty. So simple form group we have created. Again, we can have many field also, many controls also we can create, that we will do in loan. Now we have created a form group. Okay. Now this form we have to push to our form array, where in contact list. Okay. So this dot contacts, we already got the instance over here, right? So this we can use this dot contact dot push. What we need to push? The form group which we have created. Another way, this same thing we have to write it over here. Instead of that, we have already created a method which by which we are getting the instance of form contact list form array, right? So, and this function, okay, so we have initialized this now. After that, let's create constructor, because on page load we need to call this function. Oh my God. Okay, so this function, I will call it over here. So on the page load, now by default, we should get one control. See, we got one control ready. Now on click of add, this should be dynamic. So what we will do, this function we will call on click of this add. Click add function. So see, now your dynamic controls will be creating. Getting it? Every control is independent. So this is your dynamic control. Now inside this we have remove button. Let's say I need to remove a particular control. So we can do that also. So where is the remove button? Yeah. So on this remove button, we need to create a function. So click remove contact. Now, when we have to remove the contact, we should know the index, right? So for that, when we assign it to the HTML, now we forgot one thing. So for every form group, we need to assign a unique something, because see over here, this is nothing but dynamic form group. Every for loop will iterate, a new form group is getting created over here. So over here, you need to add your form group name. That will be something unique. So we can get form, it's not suggesting. Where it is, form group name. Form group name, why it's not coming over here? Let's use this. Form group array. And now we need the index. So from for loop, from ngper, how do we get the index? So like this, index is equal to index. So whatever the dynamic index we have, that index we will pass it over here. Like this. Okay. So each form we are instantiating over here, we will have a unique form group name. And when we have to remove, by this index we will remove. Okay. So this index we will pass to this function. Let's create this function. Now when we are calling, we are going to get the index number. Okay. Now we have to remove the particular control from my contact list array form group. So this dot contacts dot remove at, a method is already there to remove it, and you can pass the index. See, it needs the index. Let's see. Let's add 3 mobile number. In first one, I'm adding 1111, 2222, and 3333. If I click on remove, see, second one got removed. Got it? So whenever we create a dynamic form, means we have a form array. So we need to have a functionality to add also and to remove also. Okay. Now just like this, we will have a section for loan also. So I'm skipping that for now, because same thing will be there. Again, same three methods will be there for loan also. And add loan form, again, we have to call it on the constructor, so that at least one will be over here. Okay. Now, what next thing we have to say? Validation. So what we have completed this, we have completed this dynamic element also done, dynamic validation. Okay. Or first now we will start from the top. How much time is remaining? 6 minutes. Okay. So first scenario I will complete. Based on the value changes, I need to generate a full name. Okay. Let's say I created Chetan P Zogi. My full name should be automatically created. I should not have a required to type it manually, because I have full all the three names. It should automatically create the full name, right? So for doing this, one way is we can write first like value changes. The example what I wanted to take is the value changes. Okay. So first way is what we can do. Now, what we want to do is like whenever the text box value get changed, we want to call a function, and that in that function we will create the full name, and that full name we will assign it to our full name control. Okay. So what we can do first, normal way I'm explaining. Okay. So in constructor, what we can do, this dot control complete form means our application form, sorry, application form dot value changes. Okay. Means you are writing a event whenever any control value get changed, this function will execute. Okay. Like this. Okay. So what, when any form value get changed, why it is giving error? This expression is not callable. Sorry, I didn't write subscribe. Okay. So we are going to subscribe if any value change happens in this complete form. Okay. So let's say you have a requirement. If you are, you have created a form and any of the control value get changed, any of the control value get changed, you need to write some code. So this is how you write the code. If any control value, if any element value got changed in your form, this will trigger. Okay. Let's add a debugger, or let's add console. Okay. Let's save and check. Wait, we are getting error somewhere. Let's check that first. What is saying cannot find control with contact list 0. Why it is not able to find? It's not able to find. Okay, so here we didn't bind that. We need to bind it also, na? Where it is contact number, form controller name is empty, na? Let's save. Okay. So we in dynamic form we didn't bind this form controller name. It was empty, so it was giving error. Okay. Now let me clear it. Now let's say if I change the business type to some value. See, your console got trigger. If I change value over here also, see, still my control value got changed. Getting it? Means any form value element got changed, your subscribe will execute. So if you need to write a code, or say you have a scenario where if any field in your form change, you need to write a code. So this is how you can do it. So whole form value changes event you can subscribe to. Okay. So now one way to do is over here also you can generate the full name. Okay. So what you can do now, while working in Angular, we normally don't use that object destructuring, correct? But we can use it. There are many scenarios where you can use object destructuring. Object destructuring, normally React guys use it much, but in Angular we have scenario, but we don't have a habit of using JavaScript's concept that much in Angular. So we try to do it another way, but we can use it. Okay. Now I will tell you how. So constant form value. Okay. So this dot application form dot value. So what this will does, let's add a debugger. Let me show you. Mm, Let me disable the debugger. For third time I will add Chetan. Mhm. Okay, now I will enable my debugger. Okay, so see what value I get. Let's continue. Zogi. So see in form value, what we got, complete form value. In that you can see first name value we got, last name also got, and middle name also we have got. Now in form value, we have got an object. Now from this object, I need first name, last name, and middle name. So here I can use that object destructuring. So what I will do, constant curly bracket, what is that? F name, comma, M name, L name. And here we will assign our complete form value. So now This is object destructuring. We can use it Angular. Okay, here you got the complete object, but out of that you need three properties. Instead of you will be using form.value.first name like that. But this is a proper way to do it. Okay, then we need to create a full name. So constant full name is equal to fname plus space mname plus lname. Okay. Now, as I explaining it multiple times, nowadays interviews are continuously changing, right? So everyone knows like our interview normally start with JavaScript. So they will ask you how have you used object destructure in Angular. So just have this scenario ready. Okay. Guys, meeting will close. I will share it once again. Okay. Please do join once again. Okay, just wait 1 minute. Let's other join. So by default, Zoom with free account, we just have 40-minute session only. That's why meeting will end every time. Okay. Am I audible, everyone? Am I audible? Okay, fine. So we got the full name over here. Now this full name we need to assign to our full name control over here. So now there are three ways to do it. First, by you getting a particular control and setting the value. Then on a application level, we have set value or the patch value, right? So let's do the first way. So this dot application form dot controls. From control, what control we need? So in square bracket, our control name is full name. So over here, you got the access of that control. Now set value you can use. This is also one way by taking a access of that particular control. Okay. And here you will pass your full name. This is one way to do it. Okay. Let's see and check it if we are able to do it. I will disable the debugger. Wait, why it's coming undefined, undefined. Let's enable. Family we got. Here it's coming undefined. Do we have capital over here? Yeah. Okay. So whenever we are using spread operator, our variable name we are giving it over here and the property name from this should be same. There we have it in capital and here we have written it in small. That's why it was coming undefined. Let's do this again. Okay. Now it should work. See, as soon as I'm writing, my full name is getting generated. Okay. Let's add a debugger and let me show you that. So see, in first name, we got first name, last name, middle name. Now we are combining it and we are assigning it to the particular control. Understood? But now here you can see the problem. Okay. So this is one of the intro question. When we subscribe to the form, complete form, see now, it's in the dead loop now. See, because what is happening? We are subscribing to the form value. Whole form value changes. We are subscribing to it. And inside the form value, we are again changing the form value of the one control. So again, this subscribe will execute. So it will continuously keep on executing. Okay. So now over here, we have a way. So we set it, comma. What was that? Emit event or something is there. Emit. Event or what? Anyone remembers what is it? Emit event or something is there. Uh, or over by this way, I think we don't have that. Let's use that patch value. So this dot application. Now I'm explaining the second way to update the control value. Dot patch value. Application dot patch value. And here we need to pass which control value we want to change. Okay. Here you need to pass which control value you want to change. But in patch value, we need to pass our control name and the value name like that. Okay. So our control name is this, value, full name. And after that second object, we can emit. So see, over here we have got emit event. Means by default, if you don't write it, right? So it will emit a change event. But you don't want to emit that change event because other again this subscribe will execute. So your cycle will keep on continuing. So you want to break that cycle. So here you can stop that event propagation also just like that. Emit event false. Okay. So one way to update your control value is by getting an access of the particular control and by using the set value. Okay. Another way is by using the patch value. Okay. So let's save and check. Now it should not be a deadlock. Okay. Let's enable. So one time we got it, continue. So see, again, it didn't execute it because we said you don't want to emit the event. Okay. If we remove this, we just did this. So by default, it is going to emit the event. See, our deadlock will continue now. See, every time it will execute. Okay. So to handle that, we have to make that emit value as false. Okay. So one way is means the whenever you have to update the control value, there are actually three ways. One way is this by getting a particular control access and then by using the set value method. Another method is patch value. So patch value method you will use, let's say you have around so many fields in your control and you just want to update two or three fields. Some fields you want to update. So there you will use patch value. Okay. But if you want to change the whole form value, means let's say on click of edit, you want to reinitialize your form with the value. So you will be using that set value method. Application form dot set value. Why set value is not coming? Application dot set value only, no? What do we have? Set value. Okay, sorry. Application form, no? Dot set value. Okay. And when we want to update set value on the application form, so here you need to provide whole your form object over here again. Means first name, last name, everything. Okay. Not just one field. So if you have to update certain control value, you will use patch value method. If you want to update whole form value, you will go for the set value. So these are the three ways by which we can update a particular form value by getting an instance of particular form control, then by using set value. Another way is on the form level, application form dot patch value full name, right? Like this, you can pass multiple fields also. Let's say, what was that personal email or something? Something value you need to set. Okay. In one go, you want to update multiple values. So this is also one way. Okay. Another way, like whole form value you need to set. So then you will do like this. Understood? Let me just pause it. Okay. So till now clear? Anyone have any doubt? So we won't be able to complete remaining things. Okay, we will stop for today. This dynamic validation and custom validator. Only these two things are remaining. So I will explain this tomorrow. Okay. Anyone having any doubt?
Sir, here while creating forms, does we use helper functions or
We can create helper function. Instead
only-
of writing the code over here, you can move that in a helper function, your util file or somewhere in the service. Helper function means,
it is a good practice only, right, to use
yeah, see,
or
like this function. Okay. So we are adding a new form group over here. Just like that, we are going to have a loan function also, right? Add new loan form. And inside that, let's say bank name or something is there. Okay. And this you will push to your loan list. So like this, let's say you have 5 FormArray. So creating this multiple function is unnecessary, na? Somewhere you can have a in let's say you have a util file or some library file. There you can create a generic function for this, and there you will pass the function you will create. There you will accept array of string, and from that a control will be automatically created form group. So you don't have to create this function multiple time. Instead of creating this form over here, this form group you will create in your library file or util file. This is what you are asking.
uh, not this one, sir. Actually, in the form group, we have the fields, right? Variables.
Mm.
So for those variables, to access them while accessing them in the HTML file
Mm.
for the validation purposes,
Mm.
at that time, uh, I use actually helper functions. Like I create helper functions for each of the property and then
Not
call those
needed.
properties.
Here we can
Not
directly get that validation na, by using get method.
Mhm.
This form dot
You
get.
generally don't use helper functions.
We can use. We can use
No,
helper function.
you don't use for accessing the properties in the HTML file while validations.
We can create a reusable. We can create a get method like this where we can pass an index, and from our form group array we can get a particular form instance also. That also we can do. Otherwise, you can use the get function also, right?
Oh,
Both way you can use. Both will. This is in this way you have to write less code, right? And here
yes.
you will get the control, right? This same thing, instead of writing it over here, you will be creating a function with parameter index, and from your multiple form group for particular index you will return the control instance. Same thing.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay, anyone else
So
have any doubt?
I'm yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir,
Related,
please.
One thing at a time. Yeah, Avnit.
yeah,
Yeah, Arvind.
related to this contact get contact list. I'm familiarly I used to for the change function for when I click the particular object, I get the things and all and the object related behavior and all. But here we new things. You introduce the form group against get method get contact will be similar like this, or what kind of scenario will you use for this?
Same thing, no? This is nothing but form,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Same thing. Value changes, everything will be same. Doesn't matter like it's a form array or everything or on the parent control. Value changes will behave the same.
Okay.
Okay.
At the same time, same behavior only. In the change function, if I it's a particular object, I whenever I create in the HTML component,
Right.
instead of I create the get control, same
Yes.
only, right?
Same only.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, one more time, please explain patch value, set value, and
See,
what purpose.
patch value you will use, let's say you have around 20 fields are there. Okay. And from 20 field, you just need to update 2 or 3 fields value. So there you will use patch value. Some of the control value you need to change. Okay. But set value, you have to again provide all the properties over here. Okay. F name, colon value, mname, colon value, like that. All the control value you need to pass in case of set value. Okay. But if you want to update some or two or three fields, you can go for the patch value. Understood? If you want to reinitialize whole form, you will go for set value. If you want to update certain fields, you will use patch value. Clear?
Yes, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sir. And 44th
Yeah. Next.
Sir, in 42 line, why we are using subscribe there, dot value changes dot subscribe.
See, value changes mean whenever your form value get changed, this going to emit a value observable. See the return type observable. See, what's the return type of value changes? Observable. So if it is something is observable, we can subscribe to it, right? Same thing in template
Yeah.
form, you might be using ng model change. If you have a text box and in that text box you have binded some variable with ng model, you can write ng model changes function.
Yeah.
Have you used that in template form? It's like that.
Yeah.
Uh, Sir, ng on changes, right, and value changes, both are
No, no. ng on
similar type.
changes. No, no, no. ng model change, I'm saying. ng model change.
Okay.
Just like change event is there, na?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Just like that, ng model change event is there. A replacement of that same thing, we have this in the reactive. Means your form value get changed, it is going to emit some value. So we can subscribe to it. Okay. The return type value changes is observable. So we can subscribe. Okay. Clear, Tejasvi?
Sir, there is a case scenario in which I have a form
Mm.
that contains many text box as well as a table
Mm.
that has its first row as an input for that table only. For that, I have to use this value change subscribe, right?
No, no, no. You have something like this where you have a form and inside that you have a table also.
In that table also, in the first row, there are inputs only,
Yeah,
and for
input
adding
only,
and
inline
everything.
editing. Yeah, inline editing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yes, sir. Same
Instead of,
thing.
see, over here what we are doing, row we are iterating. Instead of row, you can iterate the tr also, correct?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Here we are using the for loop on the row, correct? So instead of using it for loop on the row, you can put that in a tr also. Same thing will happen. Like this. This for loop you will put above the tr. So your tr will be dynamic with the text box, multiple text box. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a question.
Hmm.
Line number 50 you are using. Sir, scroll up.
50.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Line number 50 you are using emit event.
Hmm.
But I never use with patch value.
See, where we are
Yeah,
using
yeah.
this line inside value changes, correct?
Okay.
You might not have used this inside patch value, no?
Okay.
What was happening?
If I am not using the what
That's
happened? Any issue?
not required. It was continuously going into the deadlock, na? Because we are subscribing to the value changes. And inside that again we are emitting the value. Again this will execute. So this cycle was continuous, na? That's why I had to
Okay,
add
okay.
this. Okay.
Because I never use, that's why I am
We don't have to
asking.
use. We don't have to. If you are using this in outside function, over here, let's say you are
It's a best
doing this.
option.
You don't have to do it, na? Okay. But here it was going into deadlock. That's why we have to do it.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Sir, if the form that I described, and I have to give the data from here to the parent component using this value changes,
Yeah,
won't
we
it
can emit.
yeah, if
Won't
we are
it?
emitting, and then it will show you the form changes as well as what you are emitting, isn't that uh, is this a right choice to do this like
No,
that?
see,
Because huh.
let's say you have a stepper kind of thing. Okay. Your form is divided into multiple component. Okay. And so in that case now, instead of creating your form into component, we create this form into your service. Instead of creating form into your component, we create this into service so that we will use a single instance of that service in every component. So you don't need to emit and everything. As soon as you type
Okay.
something into your component, that form value in your service variable, it's going to update. So single instance will be there. So in that case, you don't have to use the emit. Okay.
Okay.
That's the proper
But
way.
it is
Otherwise,
only but it is only one subcomponent.
yeah. So then you can use emit by emitting the value, you can get it. No, that's the right way.
Yeah. So it won't be a problem that we are emitting the form and then it is going to that because I'm consoling both here in the subcomponent and component, parent component. It is showing me too much data. Like
But
it is
that is
going from
console,
here.
na? That is
Ah,
console.
yeah.
But ultimately, you have to emit the value, na? As soon as form value
Huh.
gets changed, you need to emit it back to the parent component, right?
Okay.
There is no
Okay,
some
sir.
shortcut way to do that.
But the thing is that in the table, the first row is input. Let's suppose there is seven rows,
Hmm.
7 columns, okay, and that is emitting around 7 times,
Yeah,
like that.
there is no alternate way. That's what I said. If you don't want on every input value change, you don't need the data and you have save button. So on click of save button, only once you will emit that. Correct?
Okay. No,
But if you don't have
I have
save
no
button,
buttons.
obviously on every control value, you have to emit it back.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay,
Fine.
thank you so
Sir,
much.
my question is that in line 45, why we make a function like this for a full name?
45 line number.
Line number 45.
Yeah. So instead of this, if we don't write like this, what we could have written form value dot first name, form value dot last name, right? Like this we would have written. Understood this? Because in this you will get the whole object. From that you are picking particular value. An alternate way to do this is by using spread operator like this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir, I understand.
SonarQube is creating issue for that repeating code and all.
Yeah, it will be. But see, nowadays they're asking scenarios like in Angular, what are the scenarios where you have used spread operator? So we need some scenarios in our mind to explain that answer, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you guys. Tomorrow I will schedule one more session. So the remaining points I will discuss tomorrow. Fine.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you all
Thank you, sir.
for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.